and the planning should be as simple as possible. But we have to do careful planning and simulated variation of volumes and beams of the radiation, because this is a signal art and we want to kill the tumor cell. At the same time, we want to save the surrounding tissue. So mostly two-dimensional and three-dimensional methods are used. That sometimes IMRT and stereotactic radiotherapy should be considered in some cases of oligometastatic, very few, one or two metastatic and re-irradiation cases. So, the role of palliative radiation is significant in oncologic emergency, which is a very important issue in our palliative care. We all know that there are three different types of oncologic emergency: mechanical, hematologic, and metabolic oncologic emergency. Among them, most of mechanical oncologic emergency have to treat with the radiation. So in that case, all healthcare professionals should have high index of suspicion of what are the symptoms of oncologic emergency, and they need to refer to the oncologist and give a multidisciplinary approach of treatment, including palliative care. So it's increased intracranial pressure due to brain mass or primary tumor. Our aim is to reduce neurological symptoms and to prolong survival, because without survival, there's a very limited time, or without radiation, the survival is very limited, less than 1 month, and with the radiation alone, the survival is 4 to 6 months, or with surgery, it's about 10 months. So the management is as usual, it is a multidisciplinary approach. In the we have to use pharmacological intervention of dexamethasone, mannitol. It depends upon the patient condition. Anticonvulsant therapy is not the evidence-based. We didn't normally use it, and we can work together with the surgery, radiosurgery, or chemotherapy, and the last not the least is the palliative care clinician. And you can see that we write radiation dose as a 30 gray per 10 fraction or 20 gray per 5 fraction. It is the usual dose used in the palliative care. But there is how can we do that 10 fraction is the same as a fraction or not? So they are the evidence based that it is a similar response. So this is the whole brain radiation. The whole brain is treated. And this is localized treatment, but especially when we use the complex and advanced radiation method. For whole brain, the whole brain is treated, and this is very localized tumor is only treated, and the other surrounding tissue is spared. And this is the spinal compression. We all know that the main problem is it can lead to complete paraplegia, which strongly affects our daily living, activity of daily living, and quality of life. That is, for our aim is to keep the ADR as independent as possible, to reduce pain and to treat the underlying disease. The median survival, if it is untreated, it will die within a month. With treatment, it can the overall survival can range from 3 to 16 months. At the same as before, it is a multidisciplinary approach, and sometimes the surgery by orthopedic surgeon, they treat the spinal neck, but after that they will refer to the radiation. So some of the cases, if there is benefit for surgery, we have to use the radiation. And for very limited type of tumor, like the non-Hodgkin lymphoma and the small cell lung cancer, there is a role of chemotherapy in treating the spinal cord compression. The ways of radiation to the spinal cord is very important, because we all know that if we didn't treat timely, the 80% will remain ambulant, and 50% of them will be more advanced myelopathy, and 5% those with paraplegia. So the prognosis is depend on the type and extent of the primary tumor, and ambulatory status at the time of the treatment and duration of the paraplegia. Sometimes the patient is referred to the radiation oncologist, but after the paraplegia is more than 7 days. So at that time, his outcome is not satisfactory. So in case of superior vena cava obstruction, the patient will have a very dyspneic, and in our palliative care, they can come with a total dyspnea. So the main thing is we have to keep high index of sedation kind of patient, work together with the oncologist. The same as before, multidisciplinary management is important. And this is a study which shows that there are some role of chemotherapy, especially in NHL and small cell lung cancer. Progression common in some of the head and neck cancer, thyroid, parathyroid, esophagus. So at that time, the core is obstructed. The patient come with the wheezing and stridors. So for kind of what is emergency, we give the radiation. Bone pain, bone metastatic, or the bone fracture due to metastatic to that bone. It can be treated with pain management. There are previous chemotherapy, the disease management. Sometimes they consult with the ortho surgeon to fix the bone. That's mostly when the pain is very severe, and they have to refer to the radiation oncologist to reduce the pain. We use different methods of radiation. 30 gray per 10 fraction, 20 gray per 5 fraction, 8 gray single fraction. What's the difference? It's difference about the depending disease status, maybe, and what is their prognosis, what is the previous treatment. The single fraction or the multiple fraction provides equal pain relief. And however, there will be a significant higher retreatment rate because we give single fraction, so we have to give irradiated side. And there is some tumor bleeding, especially in the advanced cancer of breast, bladder, bronchus. So at that time, for that case of oncology emergency, we use different method of radiation, like 30 gray in 10 or 20 gray in 5 or 8 gray single fraction, or different methods for different sites. So like that. So some of the cases are oncologic emergency, we give urgent palliative radiotherapy. Some of the cases are the cancer is advanced, so
excuse me,
it's not beneficiary to try curative dose. So for that type of patient, we use the palliative intent of radiation. Sorry?
Excuse me, Dr. Can you kindly
stop? Oh, sorry, okay. So there are different methods of radiation type. So here we have the prognosis, many assessments for prognosis. However, when we treat cancer with a multidimensional suffering, we know about the disease trajectories, and we create integrated and oncology care approach. So for this, nutrients are very important for integrated oncology and palliative care approach, like to promote awareness of radiation, integrated oncology and palliative care, research, infrastructure development, process development, and policy development. That's
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. We have, I think, next PALLICON you will hear particularly. And we have been enlightened by your palliative radiotherapy and especially emergency palliative radiotherapy. Thank you very much. And next topic is WHO projects in palliative care, and the speaker is none other than Dr. April Ganguly, WHO Country Office India. Can come up, madam, please.
Am I audible? Okay. Good morning. Good morning, everybody, and greetings from WHO. So, Honorable Chair, an August gathering today. It is really my opportunity and my, I'm really honored and humbled to come here and see how the state of Manipur is really taking forward the palliative care agenda. Yes, definitely palliative care, the more we put in our resources in terms of time and money and commitment, the more it is required, because palliative care, we've all heard right now, the need for palliative care is growing day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour. So with these words, I start my presentation. See, palliative care, initially, it was very much associated with just cancer, but it has been felt that any terminally ill patient, depression and other psychological symptoms are very common, and palliative care is only solution which can help people to thrive in this context. So my presentation would be what is the global context, what is in terms of India, and also how universal access to palliative care can be achieved. So as Dr. Tilakeshwari mentioned the definition of palliative care from WHO, I would not go in detail, just highlighting mainly it is not just the pain but also other problems, both physical, psychological and spiritual. So the need of palliative care, from morning I've heard how speakers have reiterated the need, they have shared the burden, they have also shared concern over the availability, and only 14% globally have access to palliative care, which is abysmal and unaccepted. So my request to the August gathering, and I'm really happy to know that we have even MBBS students here, so please devote a part of your career to take forward palliative care. Then yes, regulations, we talk about morphine, availability of morphine, but I would say if you go back to WHO pain ladder, morphine is there at step 3, and I'm here with palliative experts. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So much of the pain can also be taken care by other means, like with other painkillers, ordinary painkillers, or even psychosocial support. And then the training, definitely training. There is no alternative to training. In medicine, we used to be told what the mind does not see, what the mind does not know, the eyes cannot see. Definitely, if we are not sensitized to palliative care, if our physicians, our budding medical fraternity are not sensitized to palliative care, it is definitely, they will not understand the need. So this is a very good opportunity, and I must congratulate the government and RIMS to take forward this initiative. And the global need is aging because of NCD's aging population being reiterated from the morning, and palliative care is not, it's very important, home-based palliative care, it does away with a lot of unnecessary hospital administration. So I will not say much about it. We know what palliative care means. WHO talks about continuum of care, from health promotion to early prevention, early detection, treatment, and then finally comes palliative care. So palliative care is, although at the end, is equally important as the other steps. Then we have a lot of guidance that has been given by palliative care for palliative care from our globally by WHO. It started as a part of cancer care, but soon with coming of this report in 2014, the World Atlas, it brought to light the mammoth need to have palliative care as a core function of the medical fraternity. So there was a resolution in 2014 for strengthening palliative care, and in this August gathering we do have many experts from India contributing to this. We have Dr. Suresh, Dr. Sushma, they have all been a part of this resolution. Then came the General Assembly in UN General Assembly in 2010, which brought about the need to impress on the fact that palliative care should be integrated in the NCD care, and it should, although Government of India has had it's good that there is a standalone program wherein all disease conditions, be it HIV, be it any NCD, are all under one umbrella. But for NCDs, definitely we need palliative care to be a part. And so we have the Global Action Plan, which is here. It is till 2020. It has now been updated to 2030, aligning it with the SDGs. Also, there are plethora of other guidance, like we have planning at the ground level for program managers, pain relief at primary healthcare level, then pain relief for pediatric professionals. So there are like healthcare planners, humanitarian crisis. There is another global atlas which came in 2020. Then we had a tool to assess the the effectiveness of palliative care through actionable indicators. So this would be one important tool which you may like to consider, because the state has got good palliative care infrastructure now. It is good that you can also keep monitoring and seeing how you are performing. Then in a snapshot, this is very important because you see, taking NCD as one index point, WHO reached out to all the areas, all the WHO regions. We have 6 regions, and here you can see, in Sierra region, although we say that 100% have got an NCD policy and 82% have palliative care included, but only 64% are implementing. So you can see it's 64% of the total thing, and over that, what is the quality of implementation? That is very important. Palliative care is not just dispensing medicines. How the medicines are dispensed, how the care is given, how the communication is done plays a very, very important role. So it is qualitative as well as quantitatively, we need to say how palliative care is being given. Here it's also another graph I would like to share. Here you can see that palliative care is a part of primary healthcare NCD in Sierra. It is only 36%, and also home care delivery is 36%. So this is abysmally low. We really need to take forward, and for that we do have our young budding physicians. So my request to you, please take forward the torch. Next, we have, in terms of national guidance, we've been talking, this 2014 was a watershed line wherein the availability of opioids for palliative care got a new life. Then we have the Health and Wellness Center modules, which talks about palliative care, and Manipur is really implementing it in true letter and spirit. Must congratulate the state. Then the National Monitoring Framework for NCDs also talks about availability of medicines for all NCDs, which includes palliative care, opioids for palliative care and other essentials. So there is commitment from the government, there is commitment from the state. So where else can we find a better place than Manipur to see palliative care growing? And from Government of India, we have been supporting the central government and thus the states to take forward, and we've been doing it from last 15 years. We have many experts like Dr. Suresh and Dr. Sushma has been with us since then. We have various guidelines for home-based palliative care, guidelines for uniform course for palliative care, guidelines for tertiary cancer care centers to take forward palliative care. Then we have been supporting how the NPCDCS or the NCD program can take forward palliative care. Also, how palliative care can be a part of the ASHA, the community health workers, the medical officers who can take forward, and thus we have been, WHO has been supporting review meetings year after year, which also gave an opportunity and a forum for exchange of ideas between the states, and especially good things are always there, but there are a lot of experiences how people have been able to overcome the difficulties or challenges. So these avenues are very important, and I really must congratulate the state again. And sir, do we have time for a short film?
Yes.
Okay, so this is just, I mean, it's a simple message what palliative care stands for. And so can we please this? So just to sum up how
Miguel is 35. He is an experienced, dedicated professional who loves his job. He swims every morning and likes to read. He also loves spending time with his friends. But for a while now, he hasn't been feeling well. He's tired with no drive or energy. At times, he feels short of breath. He has consulted several doctors who have done many tests. This morning, the specialist
So with these words, many thanks for your patient hearing. I hope that we present here, we can be the roof over all healthcare facilities in the state, and WHO is there to support. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sai, for your wonderful presentation. It's very heartening to us that WHO member is here during the conference and here in Manipur and encouraging us and noting our activities as well. Just for awareness of the house who are hearing it for the first time, I would like to inform that we in Manipur are conducting a volunteer training WHO manual, which is a 16-hour training manual for volunteers, which was developed by Dr. Suresh and team. We are doing that for students, not only medical students, but other students in other colleges and schools, and other volunteers as well. And it has been translated to our language, in Manipuri language also it is available. So those who cannot read English, even we can do that workbook, 16 hours WHO workbook. So that is something that we are already doing. Another program, flagship program under Dr. Suresh that we are doing is conducting, there's a forum, Southeast Asia Forum under the WHO, which is being conducting monthly one-day clinical forum where different countries are presenting cases, and that is being discussed, and that is being led by Dr. Nandan himself. And many of the presenters today that you can see from foreign countries, they are members of this forum, and they are discussing regularly. Every month there is a one-day discussion that is going on and being arranged by Dr. Nandan. So we are doing this program, and For the information of the House, I would like to inform that the health and wellness centers which started home visit care under the CHO was first designed and formulated by the health department under Dr. Premchandra and Dr. Tilakeshwari here, and it was first started in Manipur in this model. So I think I would request Dr. Trey to recognize it as a Manipur model and guide us as to fine-tune it so that we can make it available to rest of India as a model goes. Because it has been working for us, we are also working to improve on that. And here is a model where an NGO, which is the Palliative Care Society Imphal, the Health Department, and the CHO level, we are all working together to give home-based palliative care with the regular home visits. So thank you so much for your presentation, Dr. Mike.
Thank you, Dr. Till. WHO is doing quite a lot of work, and unfortunately, I think many of us will be related to palliative care, except those few fortunate, unfortunate sudden deaths. I think so. These primary fictions, where I'm dealing with the public fictions.